Autoline Daily is brought to you by Siemens PLM Software, transforming the process of innovation.
Here are today's top headlines. Nissan is moving some of its production out of Japan. Suppliers will ask the American government for economic aid, and GM says it doesn't need more pay cuts from the UAW. Up next, we'll be back with the news behind the headlines. This is Autoline Daily for Friday, January 16, 2009, and now the news. In an unprecedented move for a Japanese company, Nissan announced it will move some production out of Japan and into India, Thailand, and other low-cost countries. While Japanese automakers do build cars in those countries, the AP reports this would be the first time a company's best-selling model in the Japanese market would be moved to another country. The Japanese yen is surging against other currencies, especially the dollar, making it very expensive to export cars and components out of Japan. GM's bondholders are banding together to negotiate with the company, the Wall Street Journal reports. GM owes its bondholders $27.5 billion, and part of the agreement with the government to get a bridge loan is to cut that debt by 2/3. That means tough bargaining lies ahead, since GM is going to have to get all of its major bondholders to agree to taking a bath on their investment in the company. Unexpectedly, GM says the UAW does not have to make more pay cuts as part of the viability plan it has to present to Congress. The Detroit Free Press reports the cuts are not needed since there is not a significant difference in pay between the UAW and U.S. transplant workers. GM says it can negotiate in other areas, like work rules, to get the cost savings it needs. Automakers aren't the only ones in trouble. So are their suppliers. That's why the Motor Equipment Manufacturers Association and the Original Equipment Suppliers Association want guaranteed bank loans from the government, the Free Press reports. And you know it's true. If suppliers collapse, they'll take the car companies down with them, no matter how much money the government gives to the car companies. On the heels of the announcement that GM is giving LG Chem the contract to make batteries for the Chevrolet Volt, LG Chem's parent company posted a record fourth-quarter loss. Reuters reports that LG lost nearly $500 million in the fourth quarter. And to make sure more advanced batteries are made in the U.S., Congress is proposing $3.5 billion in research money for alternative fuel vehicles and advanced batteries. By the way, the bill also provides money to retrofit or replace older diesel-powered vehicles like school buses. Coming up next, a preview of this week's episode of Autoline Detroit. We'll be back right after this.
Siemens, transforming the process of innovation.
On this episode of Autoline Detroit, I'm joined by Mark LaNave from GM, Frank Clegan from Chrysler, Don Esmond from Toyota, and Jim O'Donnell from BMW. Here's a preview of that show with Mark LaNave, GM's Vice President of Sales, Service, and Marketing, talking about the perception problems facing GM.
So I'm glad you brought that up, because certainly we had a lot of attention paid to us in the last couple of months. Most of it we wouldn't want to have paid to us again. So the bad news is a lot of attention paid to us. Good news is people are paying attention if you turn around. So we're already seeing really strong movement in our divisional brands. Not the GM as a company, but Chevy, Cadillac, Pontiac, Buick, where opinion is improving, relative perception of quality, reliability, fuel economy, resale. These are all positive because GM's not a consumer brand, and people could be apathetic toward the corporate image, but love their Chevy and love their Cadillac. And we see evidence of that every day. So I think we've got a unique window now to really help close that perceptual gap and let people know what we have to sell, which is terrific stuff, as you know.
And remember, if you want to hear the rest of my interview with these top-level industry insiders, you can watch the entire episode of Autoline Detroit on our website right now. One more thing before we go, the winner of this week's trivia contest. We challenged you to name the make of car pictured here. And as many of you responded, it's a Graham, a 1938 Graham. These cars are known for their prominent hoods that jut out at the top, a feature that earned them the nickname Shark Nose. And as always, my crack team has randomly selected today's winner from the pool of correct responses. Pookie, the envelope, por favor. Thank you, Pookie. And the winner of this week's trivia quiz is Pookie. Pookie, you can't win this contest. Give me the real winner. Come on, give me the real winner. And this week's winner is Martin Shore of Sarasota, Florida. Congratulations, Martin. You've just won an Autoline coffee mug and special edition Autoline 10th Anniversary DVD. And folks, that brings us to the end of today's show. As always, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
Visit our website for even more great content all week long. Autoline Extra, Dawn's Journal, podcasts, and even more. So click over and get the inside view at AutolineDetroit.tv.